What's up, everybody? My name is Brad, and welcome to, I believe it's week 10. I should have checked before this. I didn't, but I think we're on week 10 of the book report. My weekly check in, let y'all know what I've been reading, currently reading, what I'm planning to read next, all that kind of fun stuff. And just a few minutes ago, I was sitting over in that chair and I got super drowsy, really sleepy. It just hit me all of a sudden. So I had to shake it off. I don't want to take a nap. It's Sunday afternoon. I don't usually take naps because they make me feel worse when I wake up than I did before. But I had to shake that off so I could come do this video because I was about to pass out in that chair. But anyway, that's beside the point. So really quick, I mentioned this last week, but I got the book in the mail, so I'll mention it again really quick. The Spinebreakers book club pick for quarter two, so April, May, and June, is going to be Winter's Bone by Daniel Woodrell. Got my copy in the mail the other day, and I really like this cover a lot more than the movie tie-in cover with Jennifer Lawrence on there. I don't really like movie tie-in covers. This one's a lot cooler. I like this one. And so I got this in. This is going to be, like I said, the Spinebreakers book club for quarter two, starting in April. And this is, for one, it's a lot shorter than I thought it was. It's less than 200 pages. But also, I don't know why. I guess just like because of the movie poster, I thought this was set in like the late 1800s, early 1900s or something. But no, it's more modern than that. It's about Ray, which I believe is Jennifer Lawrence's character in the movie. Her father has skipped bail on charges that he ran a crystal meth lab, and she's got to go out and find him, or they're going to lose their house and all that kind of stuff. I watched the movie trailer before doing this video because, like I said, I thought that the movie was not as modern, or that the story is not as modern as it is. But I read Crystal Meth Lab on the back there, and I was like, nah, that's not in the 1800s. I don't think they were cooking meth back then. This one, I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, this is the Spinebreakers book club pick for next quarter. So if you're interested, you can join in over on the Discord. I created the channel earlier today. We'll be talking about this. So I'm excited for that and got this copy in the mail the other day. So what am I currently reading? So I'm currently reading two books. I started Salvage the Bones by Jesmyn Ward. I'm a little over halfway through. And this one's a lot different than I was expecting it to be story-wise. The writing is really good. I really enjoyed her writing and Sing Unburied Sing. But like the back of the book, the very first thing it says, they heard it on the radio, a hurricane is coming. And this is about Hurricane Katrina. I'm over halfway through the book, and the hurricane's still not there yet. Well, actually, in the book, it just now hit Florida, so it's going to be working its way over towards Mississippi. But I really thought the story was going to be, a couple chapters in, the hurricane hits, they have to survive that, and then deal with the aftermath of the hurricane. But that's not really what the story is at all. It's dealing with our main character. Her name is Esh. I think it's how you pronounce it. Esch. She's 15. Not a spoiler. It says it on the back of the book. She becomes pregnant, so she's having to deal with that. And then dealing with all of her brothers and things. A lot of it's focusing on her brother, Skeeta. And he's got a pit bull named China, and she has puppies. And a lot of the story is revolving around the dog and trying to keep it alive, trying to keep the puppies alive. Dog fights and stuff like that, which I wasn't really expecting the story to be more focused on that aspect of it. Like I said, I thought it was going to be really dealing with the hurricane and the fallout of the hurricane, and we're over halfway there, and the hurricane hasn't even hit yet. So that kind of threw me off a little bit. Like I said, I'm enjoying her writing. Her writing is excellent. The characters are good. I'm invested in the characters. The story is not what I was expecting it to be. It's more of a, I don't know if I'd say family drama because there's not really too much drama between the family relations, but just their dealings and goings on, dealing with, becoming pregnant as a 15-year-old. She knows who the father is, but they're not really in a relationship at all. He's got, his own girlfriend and stuff, dealing with the dog and trying to keep the dog alive. One of the brothers, Randall, he's a basketball player. He's trying to, do good in his basketball game that's coming up. For scouts to be there and maybe get picked up by a league and whatnot. So yeah, it's more about just kind of the family itself and what they're dealing with, more so than it has been anything about the hurricane. They're kind of preparing for the hurricane, collecting wood to put over the windows, getting jars to fill up with water and stuff. But really, the hurricane's kind of way, way in the back of the story, and I thought that was going to be the forefront. So anyway, Salvage the Bones by Jesmyn Ward. Like I said, I'm a little over halfway through. I'm really enjoying her writing style. The story just wasn't really what I'm expecting. Not that it's a bad story, just my expectations were different going into it. But I'm reading this one, Salvage the Bones. Jesmond Ward. I'll probably finish that one up this coming week, talk about the full thing next week. And then the other book I'm listening to on audiobook is The Fellowship of the Ring by J.R.R. Tolkien. I'm listening to the version that's narrated by Andy Serkis. I'm really, really digging it so far. I'm just under 8 hours, like 7 hours and 55 minutes into it or so. I think the whole thing is like 21 or 22 hours. And I've read Fellowship of the Ring, but it's been a long, long time ago. And I've seen the movie countless times. I couldn't even count how many times I've seen the movies, whether they were the extended ones or the regular ones. But there's so much in this book that I absolutely do not remember from the first time I read the book. Basically, if it doesn't happen in the movie, I did not remember it from the book at all. So I almost feel like I didn't read the book, even though I do know I read the book, but I do not remember anything that is in the book that's not in the movie. And it's quite different than the movie, really. Like whole things are kind of like whole characters, like Tom Bombadil, not in the movie at all. That's kind of where I am now in the book. They just kind of escaped the Barrow Downs. The Barrow Down stuff is not in the movie. Um, from Bilbo's party in the movie to when Gandalf gives the ring to Frodo and tells him it's the one ring and whatnot. There's like a 15-year time gap between the end of Bilbo's party and him really finding out that it's the one ring. And in the movie, it feels like it's a couple days later, if that. So that was interesting that there's a big time gap between the end of Bilbo's party where he leaves and Frodo finding out that the ring is the one ring. So yeah, just little differences like that are interesting. But I'm really, really enjoying the book. I think more so than the movie, and I really love the movies. I've been a big fan of those forever. And I really dig Andy Serkis's narration. He has a different voice for everybody. So you can tell when he's Frodo or Gandalf or any of the hobbits. Sam, Merry, Pippin, Tom Bombadil. He's singing basically the whole time, and I'm really excited for him to get to Gollum as a speaking part. They've had the flashback of Gollum and Bilbo when Bilbo found the ring, but he didn't really talk as Gollum yet. So I'm excited to when he gets dialogue for Gollum and see if he does his voice like he did in the movies. Yeah, the Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring so far has been a blast on audiobook. Once I'm done with that, I'm definitely going to pick up the other two Towers and Return of the King that Andy Serkis narrates on Audible and listen to those as well, because this is really, really fantastic so far. I'm really digging it. And I think it's really because two things. His narration is great, but also all the extra stuff that was just completely cut from the movies, I'm really enjoying. It's much more in depth. Now, comparing the book to the movie feels like it's been really sped up, which I know they can't cram everything in, even though it's a 3.5 hour movie, the extended one. But yeah, a lot has been cut from the movie that is in the book. But yeah, I'm excited to continue on my journey towards Mordor and taking the One Ring to Mordor. That'll be a lot of fun. So those are the only two things I'm reading: Fellowship of the Ring and Salvage the Bones. What am I planning to read next? So I mentioned last week, and I'm still planning to read this one next. I want to read The Summer That Melted Everything by Tiffany McDaniel. I've read Betty. Betty was from her. It's an amazing book. Probably one of my all-time favorite books. Super sad, depressing book, but it's really, really good. So I want to read more from her. And last week, I just picked this one up at random. It's on my 25 books I want to read this year. And I read through the synopsis, and it really grabbed me last week. And I want to pick this one up next. I don't think I said that sentence right. Pick this one up next. So it's The Summer That Melted Everything by Tiffany McDaniel. After that, I don't know what I'm going to read next. But I did want to mention that my local library, and I feel like they've been doing this for the last couple of years, but this is the only year so far that I plan on joining in. They do in April. They do like a community book club. So it's called One Book, and everyone in the community, is supposed to read the same book and talk about it throughout the month. And the one for this year is going to be Circe, I think is how you say it, by Madeline Miller, I believe. So that's one I'm interested in. I think the ones they've had previous years, I didn't really care to read along. Didn't care to read those books, but this one I am interested in. So I'm going to be joining in on that. I think that'll be a lot of fun. So that'll be for the whole month of April. Everyone who's participating in town supposed to read along, and then I think at the library they're going to have like group discussions of it and stuff, kind of like just like a big community book club. I think that'll be a lot of fun. So I need to get me a copy of that. But that's Circe by Madeline Miller, where my local library is basically hosting a book club. Everyone's going to read it. I think that'll be a lot of fun. So I'm planning to do that. And not what I'm reading next, but uh, kind of sidetracked, but kind of coming back to books. My wife and I finally finished up watching Better Call Saul. I started it forever ago, didn't watch it for a long time. Finally got back into it and finished it up. Um, Excellent show. If you haven't seen it, highly suggest it. Breaking Bad's still my favorite TV show of all time. But we finished up Better Call Saul, and it left like this gap where I was wanting more. The series is over, but I want more. So I was thinking, I wonder what are some books that would have that kind of same vibe and feeling and tone as Better Call Saul. I looked online. I saw a couple books that maybe fit the bill, but nothing that really felt like, yeah, that's going to be like Better Call Saul. So if any of y'all out there have watched the show, and if you maybe have any book recommendations that would be kind of the same tone and vibe as that, please let me know, because I really want to kind of fill that gap where that show is over. That's over. I've watched Breaking Bad. I've seen the El Camino movie, so there's nothing else new in the Breaking Bad universe for me to consume. And I'm wanting more from that universe because I really love that show and those characters. Yeah, awesome series. Both of them, Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad, were awesome, and I want more from it, but there's nothing left. So if anybody has any book suggestions that are maybe similar, let me know down in the comments below. But other than that, that's all I've got to talk about today. A couple books I'm reading and what I'm planning to read next. But yeah, so let me know down in the comments what you are currently reading, or if you've read any of the things I've talked about today. Let me know that as well. But that's all I've got for you guys today. So thank you for hanging out with me. Appreciate your time. Again, my name is Brad, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.